Hello everyone. Hello everyone. My name is Srinivasan Narayan. I am the founder of the platform Cohort Plus. Before I actually jump into the details, I really want to thank all of you for taking time out on a rather lazy Sunday morning and attending this session. Beyond everything else, one thing that I can assure you, this session will definitely be very informative, and hence the time that you have taken out, take my word for it, it will actually be very useful. So I before I actually kind of jump into the details and we start the AMA, I want to take a moment and describe Cohort Plus to all the people who have joined the live session today. uh, some of you would already know about Cohort Plus. You are part of the platform, you engage with other like-minded people in the data science community. But for those who are not aware of Cohort Plus, well, it's a platform that gets all data science enthusiasts as well as product management enthusiasts together on a single platform where people can actually exchange useful information, keep themselves abreast with the latest happenings, share relevant knowledge with regards to the data science domain, the product management domain, help each other out, mentor each other out, and ensure that all of us can actually take the next big step in our careers. And as I mentioned, to continue with regards to mentorship and with regards to helping each other out, we conduct a lot of sessions beyond the platform also, where we get experts, we get seasoned professionals to come and talk about their experience, about how they have actually leveraged skills in data science, skills in product management, and built great products or impacted the world. And more importantly, how you yourself can actually kind of start gaining those skills, a honing those skills, B and C, you can actually once you gain those skills, how you can actually apply them in the real world to make a proper difference. So Cohort Plus, as I said, is one of the largest platforms. It is actually the largest platform for product management professionals, and it is one of the fastest growing platforms for data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence enthusiasts. Today's session specifically would be taken up by Kaustav Banerjee. For those people who are actually active on the data science platform, I don't think Kaustav needs any introduction. However, I will actually take some time out and complete the formalities of introducing him. So Kaustav is a product product enthusiast, a product geek. He runs his own startup, which is in the artificial intelligence space, based out of Kolkata. He's a football fanatic, and apart from that, he has been building products that impact the world, leveraging data science and machine learning. I myself call him the machine learning guru, because any question that comes on the Cohort Plus platform, even before other people can actually answer, Kostov actually has an answer and gives a proper answer to the person who's asked the question and closes the loop. No wonder he's garnered more than 1,500, if I'm not mistaken, followers on the Cohort Plus platform within 30 days of joining the Cohort Plus platform. So we thought that it would be imperative that that we take this engagement to the next level and let Kostov excuse me, let Kostov talk about his data science experience, how he switched to a career in data science, how he's leveraged machine learning to build his products. Because we thought that this kind of a podcast would really help a lot of people who are part of the platform and want such queries to be answered. And we thought we could actually do this by having him take this session. One last thing before I hand it over to Kostov. This initiative has completely, been Kostov's undertaking. He actually posted a wonderful post on the Quad Plus platform this Friday of helping people out, because he was getting a lot of queries, a lot of one-on-one direct messages on the Quad Plus platform, apart from actually answering posts. And he thought that if you could take one single consolidated session, it would help a lot of people at large. So that's what triggered us to hold this session on a Sunday morning. We reached out to him subsequently, and we thought that if he had it on the Quad Plus platform, then it would be great, because the reach of the platform would help him evangelize about his learnings in a much more structured fashion. So kudos to Kostav. I think this event is completely kind of his brainchild, and I'm sure that at the end of the session, all of us will walk back a little more enlightened, a little more smart. I mean, a little more with a little more knowledge around data science and machine learning. With that, I'll actually hand it over to Kostav. Uh, Folks, please keep your questions coming on the YouTube channel. Kostav is looking at all of them, and he'll start answering them in some time from now. Kostav, it's all yours. You can introduce yourself and you can start taking the questions. Let's open the AMA.
Thanks, Srinivasan. Thanks for the introduction. And uh, having a great audience in Court Plus is also give me a great boost to conduct this session, so that I can do a little more with my little knowledge what I've gained in the years, to help you guys. So I've received a couple of questions. The spreadsheet Srinivasan has shared with me. So most of the questions, about 60% of the questions coming from how I can transit from a different career path to a data science path, or on the artificial intelligence path. So to begin with, previously I used to work in TCS, in SAP domain. Okay, so I've worked for a year over there. Then I switched my career to data science. Uh, Coming to that part, how I got this opportunity. I First of all, you need to have a programming, or is something you need to have a need to know a language in which you can do the stuffs with. Okay, so Python was quite a easy and flexible language. You can leverage Python to use build any type of application nowadays, from web apps to anything. So Python is a great platform, rather I say a great programming language to start with. Even R is also getting good amount of significant amount of popularity in the data science community, and it's basically used by the statisticians and to do a great visualization techniques are great in R platform. So you can leverage Python first of all. So most of the question what I have received from, just look me at. So I have received a question from Nageshri Seshadri. Would you recommend working on only Kaggle projects for beginners? So Kaggle projects are great. You can do stuff, means you can see the repository over there, how people are doing, and how the data is helping you get insight from it. Okay, but prior to that, if you can do some real life solve real life puzzles in the data science, it will give you more confidence, and even you can leverage these things. Okay, so even I've written a blog, and I've shared with in Cohort Plus how to take a leap into data science. Okay, so you can use that thing. You can go through the blog post. I will ask Srinivasan to make it like I will share with you. So there are 9 to 10 techniques I have used over there. So how you can start your journey in the data science. Uh, I will ask Srinivasan to share with you. One question from Augustine Nema. How to measure? This is the project even I have worked upon, how to measure emotion on facial expressions. Okay, so there is a lot of use cases for facial recognition emotions. You can use it in video data analytics. So you can observe a cloud, how the light band performing with this stuff. You can meta tag this thing, the emotion within people, and later use in a publication journey. So I will share my story how we have used this facial recognition stuff in one of the use cases. So there was a company in US. They used to handle event management in clubs or five-star restaurant or in a hotels. Okay, so they have came up to with this use case. If in real time, if we can measure the facial recognition of the crowd, even in a low light area, they can have a bit of prediction key whether the band is performing well, whether the band is good to have the next show or not. So we have worked on this use case. So on how to measure, so we have used six emotions over there in that project. I will share the six ones. There was angry, neutral, happy, joyful, anything, the six stuff over there. And you can everything in a classification model, you need to have a great database of all the stuffs. Okay, so once you have this thing, you can build on top of a neural network. There are plenty of uh, available models nowadays. Even TensorFlow is uh, provides you with all the pre-trained model. You can use that in your stuff. So one more questions I've got. Can you give any examples of real life in which ML is being used? Okay. So most of the users are using YouTube, right? So how I get recommend good recommendation from Google or YouTube on data science community, because my feeds are trained like on data science, and I search a lot on data science. So it's basically a unsupervised learning in which Google tracks my feeds and data, okay, and they recommend similar stuff to it. It's a real life use case in which you can say that ML is being used. So again, one more questions are coming over here. In a single use case, can you give ML, AI, RPA and make it better? Give a few examples. Okay, so even we are using RPA UiPath to automate some of the process in my product journey in my current startup. Okay, so what we are doing, we are into travel tech space. We have automated the data extraction from various IDs. Okay, hello.
There are not many questions coming in.
Srinivasan, are you there? Miss, are you asking anything?
No.
Okay, so what we do here is ROI pooling we use over to extract the name, date of birth, address, and we feed it
You
to the
know,
system using RPA. Okay, and UiPath provide with you doesn't need to do programming over there. There's a drag and drop tool in UiPath. I don't know about others like Blue Prism, there automation anywhere in the RPA field, but we are using. I'm quite happy using UiPath. Okay. So has asked, is there any particular syllabus for data science? So there is no particular. I would say ki rather get your hands dirty, doing much more practical use cases. You will get the intuition how the data is flowing and how data can tell you stories. Okay, so I will share my experience working for a client called AT&T. So they had a database, means they have shared a data of 1.5 GB of sensor data and some uh, feature set of some 5,000 columns. Okay, from there they need to extract key when my system are going down and why it is going down. So it was a very real life practical use case I've worked upon. I will share how we have identified that thing. Even you can relate some of the stuff. How can you do predictive analytics using such a huge feature set? So to begin with this thing, so you can use PCA. PCA is a very good tool in doing dimension reduction. You can use unsupervised learning and clustering algorithm to extract most common features. Uh, you can use TSNE algorithm. Even that is also a dimensional reduction technique to reduce the stuff, the feature set. So after doing all these things, we have reduced the feature set to about 100 or 120. We pick up 100 and 120. Okay. Then what we have done, we have um, we then look for the correlations. Okay, what are the factors affecting mostly the downfall and when it is being downfall? So what we get to see from the data that around the month of November, December, and January, there is a huge downfall in the network. Okay, so again, we came up with okay, this is the time when the downfall is happening. So when we sit together, the business people and our team sat together, so then we realize, okay, this is the time why the maximum downfall is happening, because in the US, around this time is a heavy winter and the Christmas. There is a holiday season going on over there, so there is nobody to uh, do the repairing around that time in the underlying cables. So there is a huge amount of downfall. So what we have suggested, before the winter, you can prepare all the and repair all the underlying cables to minimize the downfall of the network. So it was a quite a huge successful project for them, saving a lot of dollars for them. Okay, so Karthik has asked model deployment challenges. Okay, so model deployment challenges, I don't think nowadays it's quite a bit challenges, because we have a lot of amount of tools, the cloud products from Google, Azure, or AWS. You can definitely dump your pre-trained model over there and do a predictive analytics on those models. Even sklearn, you can use sklearn, pickle, tflearn to dump your pre-trained model in the cloud, and we are using it on a daily basis nowadays. Okay, so any example of finance app using ML and AI? Okay, so most of the banks are now, even we have received participation from Government of India on working on an SBI project, working on fraud detection and as well as um, loan dispersing loan. It's a great projects to work upon. We are currently looking for startups working in this finance project to help them out with this thing. So, what is the hiring process of the data science on the transaction? Okay, problem in transferring to production. Okay, so one more problem. What we have faced means how can you repeatedly train the model after getting updated data? Okay, so that's a quite challenge. What we do, we use TensorFlow, tflearn, to deploy our production model, and uh, on what epoch it has been deployed, we measure that, and after that, the training session again we continue. Okay, so
Can open
the
multiple
time taken to leverage
login
this,
as different people and post the questions.
uh,
One
just a problem.
only two मेरा अभी श्रीनिवासन और मैं टीम लॉग इन पार्ट होता है ठीक है I will log out as Paramount and log in as different people.
What exactly ML concepts contribute to learning?
Not
Okay,
repeating.
so to start with, what I would suggest is first to get your hands dirty with any programming language. Then you can leverage. There are a lot of online courses on stats and mathematics and linear algebra. I have shared a lot of stuff on Code Plus.
Answer.
You can go through it. My
He said he posted on
uh,
but it's not in
post on.
current. It's not in yellow.
Okay.
You can don't
So after going through the maths and the stats and the probability stuff, you can go for
you have to reply that.
deploying real life use cases from Kaggle. You can download data set from Kaggle and practice of your own. It will build your confidence, and even it will prepare you for the job interviews. For the job interviews, you can maintain, rather than maintaining a good CV, you can have your projects deployed on GitHub. You can actually show to them, "Hey, I have a practical use cases of this stuff, and I can do great stuff in your company." Even GitHub will help you to get jobs, and LinkedIn also. So, what type of projects do Indian service company are getting from clients? Can you give some examples? Okay. So, being from a service industry, so there is a huge requirement of automation going on
I am
at
managing
the top
the
level.
YouTube channel.
Okay. So
Look at it.
there is a
I'll
high
answer the
level of
questions and other
automation
questions.
what the other companies leveraging now, Business 4.0, the stuffs of IoT, AI, ML, and deep learning into the every sector they are working on. If I can tell you one example of insurance company which I've worked upon a couple of years back in TCS. So there was a company in US. They want to detect the amount of damages happened on a car after an accident. Okay, so that's a practical use case scenario of an image segmentation. Okay, so you can search on Unit. Recently, Unit has been developed in 2017, and it also gives a good image segmentation on top of that. The percentage you can detect and you can
That is one
predict
question. How
you
to?
can apply on
Which
this.
one?
Okay.
One sheet. No, no, no. The first question in the sheet that I've shared with you, it's called How can a project manager get into data science analytics? Honestly, just put that question. My brother is telling. He's there. He's the one who put that question.
Okay. So the first question is over
Take
there.
that question and put it in that.
How
नहीं नहीं
uh,
I
how
don't
can
want to answer.
product
Team
managers
also
can
from
get
my
into
brother
the
needs an
data
answer
science field?
from him
Okay.
for that question. It's the top question in the sheet that actually. But it's not
So for product management people, what I can suggest is
a project manager.
uh, definitely it's a very vast area you can work upon. Don't get into all the stuffs in data science to one part of the journey. Means you can do predictive analysis.
Definitely,
It's a hello, or you can look into NLP or computer vision. Okay, so take a leap, take few challenges because we know the product managers people in the service company are quite in a comfort zone and they doesn't want to do a leap into it. But it's quite exciting and a great learning from there. You can get great stuff and build some great product out of India. So exactly. Just a minute. Let me go through the questions once. Some resources. Okay. So, what is the current trends in machine learning? Okay, it has been asked by Saistan Naz. So, what are the trends? Mostly, the research community is going on reinforcement learning. There is a huge research going on from DeepMind's OpenAI and the likes of MIT. They are doing a great amount of research on reinforcement learning and GAN. It's a GAN is generative adversarial network. If you have seen a couple of videos of deep fakes, what they do is imitate the person face as well as the voice and build some stuff to mimic that thing. Okay, so GAN is a great competitive prospect you can look upon. And reinforcement learning is the current trend. Most of the stuff, if you have seen SpaceX rocket coming to Earth straight, okay, so this is a use case of a reinforcement learning. Uh,
You listen to YouTube channel. Because if there any
okay,
mistake then you know. I
let
listen to
me
this
get
one.
some logins here. So how can I
I'm
excel
not
in this?
talking about only.
Sure.
start putting the Quora questions.
Inside US.
See, you can
So
start listening through YouTube
one
and
more
also
questions
earning.
I've come up with. I have completed Andrew Nurse's course on machine learning, and what should I do next? The same thing what I have explained. He gets your hand dirty first and start working on the problems. You will definitely get some insight and confidence to work on AIML stuff. What are the some great real life examples of machine learning? This has also been covered. Okay. So with ML being used these days on customer analytics, segmentation marketing, how different? This is a good question. With ML being used these days in customer analytics, segmentation, and marketing analytics to trace the techniques of the customer, how different is that from using ML to cause user products? Is there a use case to build a customer profile by looking at the tickets? Okay. Okay, so even these questions, even we are
Sorry,
using
Arjun.
this in our use cases. Okay, so being into
Your
travel tech
laptop
space.
died, is it?
Yes, Srinivasan, do you have any questions? Hello. Yeah. So even we are using these use cases. I will explain how we are using this thing in our product. Okay.
No, no, no.
So
You're fine.
okay. So how we are using this customer profile thing in our product. So what in the hotel industry they have the data, but they doesn't track from the where the customer is coming and from what is the average age of the customer coming to the hotel. They doesn't use this data. So we thought it would be good to give this information to the hotels to bring in direct revenue to the hotel through direct booking. Okay, so we track the customer digital footprint. What are the customers having inside the hotel, or what are the food he's having, what is the remark he's been giving to the hotel, what are the reviews being addressed in the TripAdvisor. We collect all this data of the customer and gives a rating to that customer, okay, whether it's a wealthy customer or not, so that effectively the hotel can work upon it and bring that customer on a repetitive basis. So even what is the practical use case and where it has been used, even that has been covered. Uh, what skill do you expect from a placer from ML data science job? So, what skills do you expect from a faces or ML data science job? So, prior to ML, the job thing, what I would suggest get into an internship in any company, work with them for paid or non-paid stuff. Uh, get the experience. You will get a lot. You will get to learn a lot of things if you are working on ML data science and job internship, and then you can apply to job because it will help you to leverage your prospect, and even the company can directly recruit you from the internship part. So, what are the prerequisites to start learning machine learning? So, that's the same question appearing now. So you can start learning with Python. Do some statistics learning. You doesn't need to master all the thing. Do the basic stuff and start solving problems. That's what I can suggest because that has helped me to gain a quite a knowledge in this field, solving some practical problems. Okay. So I want to know when should I apply for a job and how much knowledge should I need to crack an interview? How much in the depth topic should I want to switch into machine learning job? Okay. So again, that the same question. You can go for intensives first, and then you can apply for the jobs. So I'm a product manager and working on UI UX of a website and app using Google Analytics for tracking purpose to implement new automated features in the product, sort of ML or data science. Uh, Data science also possess so the need to be hands-on knowledge on Python so that I can better relate convey things to the developer what are the contributor the team will data science. So you doesn't need to have a hands-on knowledge on Python or R. Even in Excel you can do pivot tables and see the correlation and similarity between the data. With that knowledge, you can help your developers. Okay, these are the things we need in the product, and these are the thing we doesn't need. So, what are the customer lackings in within the app, and what are the customer disliking? You can dump it and you can build a product around it. So one more interesting question. I'm an MBA graduate in marketing and sales and a civil engineer. So I'm not from an IT background, no familiarity in programming. Presently working in a sales profile. My question is, any relevance in business marketing profile in this secure a good job or secondly, as I have said that I'm an IT background, it's difficult to understand topic and logistics. So, project.
You can unmute it and talk it.
Programming. I'm from secondly, as I have said that. Okay. So from MBA graduate in marketing sales secondly, as I have said that. So I'm Srinivas, I'm
Yeah.
facing some noise issues over
There's noise from yours. Just mute it.
here. Okay. So one guy has asked, he's from a non-IT background and he wants to live into the field of data science. So you doesn't need to have a very prior knowledge in
See, I want to join.
hello. Yeah. So you need to have a basic understanding in what you are looking for, and you doesn't need to have a very great knowledge in this thing. Anyone from any field can uh, learn data science. Okay, so that's the interesting part of data science. So which open source framework other than TensorFlow going to change MIML in future? So I'm being recently tracking PyTorch. PyTorch is gaining a lot of popularity. Even Keras is being developed on a rapid scale. The Keras models are easy to implement as they are built on the framework of sklearn, and it's quite easy to grab the knowledge on Keras and PyTorch. There's definitely be great use cases working on Keras and PyTorch. What are the songs? Yes, Srinivasan. Hello.
Yeah. Should I?
So I think, do you have is the PCA use mostly dimension reduction rather RFP? So PCA, I have used PCA for mostly in dimensional reduction. So rather RFE, I haven't used RFE. I can't tell you about that. Okay. So I've completed. What are the same real life example, please? So what are the main difference between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning? Okay. So to answer this question, what I will suggest is artificial intelligence is a very broader concept. Inside, if you see a Venn diagram, within that you get machine learning and deep learning as the subset of artificial intelligence. I am looking for some detailed case study on how things have been implemented for industrial IoT project for manufacturing. So Abhishek Kumar, your questions have been popped out over here. I'm looking for some detailed case study on how predictive maintenance has been implemented for industrial IoT project or manufacturing. To answer your question, I haven't came across this thing, so I won't be a good person to answer you that. So, question coming from Sachin S. I am currently in embedded field. I am thinking to change my career to AI. Does the knowledge in embedded system helps to move forward in AI? Definitely, you can use your experience in the field of AI. And you can do a lot of things in this thing. But what is the hiring process of companies in data science? How many rounds are generally there? And can you give me example of any company? So, what is the hiring process? I think the most common hiring process, what they do is they will provide you with a data set and ask you to solve it, and they will mark you on their RMSE value or the accuracy value what you are coming up with. Then there is a couple of round with if you are going for a product management role, the product manager say to gives a real life use case and how you can tackle this use case and integrate AI ML into it. Then a couple of HR round is there. So, what is the regulation in machine learning? So, regulation means uh, if you are going for deep learning, so there is always a case of bias and variance in the deep learning model. For regularization, Adam optimizer can be a good stuff. I have used Adam optimizer for regularization technique in deep learning model. Vivek Campbell have 12 years experience as a database architect and I'm making data science role with that pattern. Definitely, Vivek Campbell have a 12 year of experience as a database developer architect. Yeah, it will be very helpful for you because you have already great knowledge in SQL and other uh, database structures. You can dump the data and try it out how you can use it. So what I can suggest to the group is with AI you can't solve all the problems. You need to have a business domain knowledge expert. Okay, so to help you out in bringing the good analytics on top of it. Why I'm saying that if suppose your car get damaged, okay, there's a problem in the engine and you take it to the workshop. By hearing the sound of the engine, the mechanic can suggest you, okay sir, your mobile is leaking or anything, the radiator is not functioning well. So if I want to build a model by hearing the sound of the engine, what is the problem? I need to have that guy in my team to impart the knowledge to me. Okay, with this frequency of the sound and with this frequency, you can predict what is the problem going over here. So what I can do is suggest you, okay, 70% of the problem you can solve with AI ML. For the 30%, you need to have a business domain knowledge to put into it. So
That's fine. That's fine. Okay.
You can look for domain knowledge expert. They need you need them to solve problems. Okay.
12, 15, it's 12:13. I'll put
So, okay.
I'll put 10
So
questions.
search
Then
for an IFT
we'll
project.
stop there.
Sorry, Abhishek Kumar. I don't have knowledge on IoT project. Um, Definitely, if I come on some stuff, I can definitely help you out. Uh, so, what are the best ways to get machine learning internship from undergrad student? So, Cohort Plus has a great community. You can reach out to product. There are a lot of product managers in this community. You can directly reach out to them through Cohort Plus or LinkedIn. Drop them an email, and you can ask for an internship for them. Okay. So, Srinivasan, are any question coming up now, or we are good to go? Hello.
He's asking for a question. One question.
Okay. So,
I'm going.
yeah. Okay. It says the question by Santosh. Okay, Santosh. Let me have your question. What you are asking?
Can you post the question again? Post that question again.
What is the knowledge representation in artificial intelligence?
Every question drop like a dotted line. So you know.
What is knowledge representation in artificial intelligence required? So, this has already been discussed. What knowledge you can have. I will ask Srinivasan to share a blog post with all the guys who are coming to this field, and even I can help you or directly reach out to me on Core Plus. Directly send me a message over there. If you need any help regarding starting your career in data science or taking the leap, I can suggest and help you out, guys. No issues.
Is there any more question? I'm putting one more.
Okay, so
Then we'll stop. Can you get me?
that's all from my side as of now. So one more last question is coming up. So I would rather ask you for the feedback. If I am able to convey my message to you clearly. If you need any more questions, if you want to know one-on-one stuff, you directly ping me on my Word Plus, DM me. I will help you out, guys. There's a lot of questions which I rather ask you for the feedback. If I am able to convey my message to you clearly. If you need any more questions, if you want to know one-on-one stuff, you directly ping me on my Word Plus, DM me. I will help you out, guys. There's a lot of questions. We rather ask you for the feedback. If I am able to convey my message to you clearly. If you need any more questions, if you want to know one-on-one stuff, you directly ping me on my.
Thanks a lot, Kostav. I think it has been an amazing session. And
Thanks a lot.
one thing I have to admit that the passion and the energy with which you were actually picking up every question and answering them to the hilt, I think the justice that you have done to every question that people here asked is truly, something worth lauding. And it is
Thanks a lot.
infectious. It is infectious, to be honest. Uh, we are actually honored to have had you here and to have taken this session. I'm sure for all those people who got up early on a Sunday morning and decided to attend this session, I think they have actually, we all of us would be going back, more knowledgeable about the whole domain of data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, thanks to the knowledge dissemination and mentorship that you have given. It was really really useful. I mean, right from understanding how to start a career in data science, to understanding which are the necessary projects to take in the machine learning domain, to understanding which institutes or which courses to take to upskill yourself. I think in this close to 1 hour session, you've tried to cover all these questions that plague people who want to deep dive or start their career in the data science and machine learning domain. And not just that, you also spoke about your experience and gave some great real life examples of how machine learning and data science is getting incorporated in various professional domains today. So I don't think we could have asked for more. The gamut of questions and the domains within data science and machine learning that were covered today, I think for us, as people who run the Quad Plus platform, it was just beyond our expectations. And one more thing I want to actually again reiterate here, that the entire credit for this should completely rest with Kostov himself, because he was the one who actually took the initiative initially to, kind of think about having such a session. So to me, I think that speaks volumes about how much Kostov is passionate about not just data science, machine learning, and building products, but more importantly, how much passionate he is about disseminating and actually, sharing and imparting knowledge to other people who maybe at this point in time are not just that, but they just need some more time and some more help, and they would actually be as good as any one of us in the machine learning and data science domain. So that attitude, Kostav, that initiative that you've taken, that enthusiasm, I think is really infectious, and something that we really look up to. Uh, I mean, there's no other way I can actually put this. So
Thank you, Srinivasan, for all your kind words. I would rather ask all the community members to share
he's muted. What happened? Let me come in now. And then I can talk. Thanks a lot, Kostav. I think it's been a great enlightening session, really illuminating. Thanks again, and thanks everyone who actually came and attended this session online. Couple of things. One, this session is getting recorded, so immediately after the session is closed, this would be live on our YouTube channel, and it would be live throughout for eternity. Second, we will also be making a blog out of the all the questions that Costa answered, giving complete credits to Costa, and that blog will also go up on our quadplus.com website. So if you want to read whatever transpired today in the form of text, you can actually read the blog. If you want to revisit this entire conversation that took place, you can always come back to our YouTube channel and listen to all the questions again and the answers that Kostov has given so very wonderfully. Thanks one and all. With these words, I would like to close the session.